1st of March. Guys, it's the birthday month!
The birthday month!
It's episode 154. Now I can proceed to immediately forget the number and be confused when I edit later. Future Jocelyn, you're welcome. My name is Jocelyn, my co-host is
Diana.
And it is Sunday afternoon. We are just caffeinating for the day now. Heavens only knows what the world's going to bring you, because while I go to bed early, Diana had to escape a sub and go do some drinking.
I was out real late last night. Like, last people in the bar late.
Oh my god, that's way too late.
It was way too late. It was a good time.
No wonder I didn't hear from you till like 1 o'clock. I was like, oh, I thought you was going to get earlier this week. Nope.
Oh.
It did not happen.
Oh. I
cool.
had not
Cool.
anticipated being out that late.
Cool. That's alright. It's okay. It's okay. We have a lot to cover. A chunk of it's actually knitting and crochet projects this time.
What? We do that?
I may have been crafting this week. May have.
May have.
It's a
Okay.
thing. So, Diana will let you know what we're going to cover this week, and hopefully we can get through this somewhat succinctly.
No.
I take out like 20 minutes of babble every week.
It's never said. It's still not succinct.
Nope.
We'll never be succinct. You're not here for succinctness?
I don't know if that's a word.
Succinctness? I feel like
Could be.
there's a fancier word for it.
There's got to be a fancier word.
Brevity.
For it. Ooh. Yeah, no one would accuse us of.
No. There is no brevity here.
We are not Lactidemonians, nor will we ever be.
We're not what?
Lactidemonians. It's the actual name for Sparta.
Oh.
Spartans were Lactidemonians.
Okay. I've
Here's
learned a
your
thing
fun
today.
fact for the day, guys. Also, Clint Eastwood. He is a Spartan speaker. He is Lactidemonian. He is succinct.
Okay. I mostly only know the name, actually. I couldn't,
Oh, gosh.
actually.
I don't know. We're gonna have to fix that. He's who I picture anyway when I think of a Spartan.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I don't actually know what he looks like or sounds like or
That's okay.
anything.
I'll get you some sound clips.
Okay.
Yeah. Not so much for his looks, because he's Caucasian, and Spartans are Greek, and Greeks are not Caucasian, but
This is true.
the succinctness with which he used words.
Okay.
That's things that work. There you go. Knowledge for the day.
All right, now that we've gone on that tangent, things we're covering today.
Yep.
What's in our cup? Cool threads, woolly workings, spinning yarns, yarn on the go, wool gathering, and kniterature.
Woohoo!
Jocelyn has very kindly made me a giant mug of 1850 Midnight Gold coffee, which I am drinking black.
Because it's a good coffee, you're kind of hungover.
At this point, I'm just tired. The hangover was this morning.
I just wanted a cup of coffee. And it's the coffee that's in my freezer. Because it's good coffee. I'm drinking it in my Knit City mug from 2018. Right? That's what that number says? It's really close to my face. I should be able to focus on it. Nope.
Yes, that is what that says.
Oh, jeez.
And yes, I do know that while drinking, you're supposed to have a glass of water between a glass of anything else. I'm aware of this. I made poor decisions.
I assumed you did till you texted me earlier today, so I was like, oh, well, maybe she doesn't know.
Nope, definitely I do know that.
Cool.
Definitely ignored that bit of knowledge.
Well, in which case, you're in your late 20s, you're on your own.
Yep.
I don't know, we're on your own. What have you been wearing this week?
I am currently right now wearing my crochet is hard.
Nope, you don't have anything called crochet is hard to wear. I could make you something called crochet is hard if you'd like.
I'm imagining it just looks like a misshapen lump of
Yeah.
fiber.
Yeah, it would just have
Crochet
to
is
be,
hard.
it would have to be something completely just sort of like Alvador Sally Alvador. Oh, words.
Oh my god.
See? You can't do it. Once you hear it wrong, you can't.
Salvador
Yeah.
Dali?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to be able to spit it out. I'm not. Guys,
Okay.
listen. It's like any 80s acid trip poster.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have to look something like that.
Anyway, what I was trying to say is I am
My mom's
currently
yelling
right
at us
now.
right now because she's saying the name correctly and I'm not.
I have on today my Katie hat from was this the
Last year's.
podcast anniversary knit along
Yeah.
last year?
Last year's
Okay.
podcast anniversary and along, yeah.
and I have my exploration station that was the Across the Prairies Cal from that same year.
Yeah, last year's as well.
That's what I'm wearing today. I have also this week worn my sockhead slouch quite a lot.
Was it last year or the year before?
That's what I was wondering.
I think it was the year before. I think it was the first year we did the Across the Prairies Cal with the other ladies that we ended up doing exploration stations because we all had them on our needles to do anyway. This year we got to choose.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I have the Glam Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know things. I drink coffee and pretend to know things.
Okay.
What have you been wearing this week?
The usual suspects. So my mallow cardigan. It's like, it's a cardigan. There's a name for it. It's a really good underneath my winter coat. Then it's not been cold enough for me to wear anything other than my lightweight fingering weight scarves. So my Goldfish Memory scarf, which is really good, and it's not a scarf, it's a wrap. I use it like a scarf because it functions like a scarf more for me. And then my Fine Trade. It's not been, cold enough for anything else.
It's like 0 degrees and like wet.
It's
just wet. Today's weather is wet.
Disgusting spring for the last few months.
Yeah.
I am not impressed. This is my unimpressed face.
On the other hand, I've been getting a lot of use out of my leather jacket, and I'm delighted by that.
That's fair. You have a really nice leather jacket.
Okay, moving on. Woolly Workings. We're working on things. Once again, you are working on more things, and all is right with the universe.
Listen, last week was weird. I didn't like it. It was weird.
It was weird. I didn't know what to do.
It was weird. While we're recording, I'm working on my sock. It's just the Sally sock. There is no pattern for it, guys. It is the sock recipe for toe-up socks. Cast on 12 stitches, increase till you have a toe that goes to your foot. Go roundy, 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 do a heel. Go roundy, 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 do a cuff. Your choice of heel and cuff. You could do a folded cuff. You could do ribbed cuffs. You could do an assortment of short row heels for toe up. There's a lot. I didn't realize there was that many until I started looking. There's a lot of different types of short row heels.
Oh yeah. You
could do an afterthought heel. Like, there's a ton of different ones going on. I have gone a bit bigger than my usual stitch count. I do my socks on a 2.25mm needles. These ones happen to be Chowgoos because I got the red cord. And I'm doing 68 stitches instead of my normal 64 because I am klutzy. Which I feel like sums up everything, but if you're brand new, that actually tells you nothing. I'm...
Might want to elaborate that on just a little bit.
Let's expand on that thought. I am really, really good at damaging my feet, my ankles, my shins, and my wrists. To the point where I have braces for all these body parts. And have for many years now. Because what did I do the other day? Missed 2 steps coming downstairs to my apartment space and jammed my knee up really good. It's not as swollen as yesterday.
That's
nor
good.
is it as bruised. Which is great. Because I injure myself at least twice a week. But a part of that is that it is not uncommon for my ankles and feet to be swollen for periods of time because I've damaged my ankles. So knowing that this is going to happen again and running a little low on some of my commercial socks that are a touch bigger because they wear out after a while. I am making myself some larger Jocelyn-sized socks so that I can have socks that I can wear when my ankle is injured. Or, I've broken a toe again. Or I've snapped a small bone in my foot. Like, I injure things that people say I'm not supposed to be able to injure. Okay, it's just talent. So these they don't have a name because these are Felici colorway here, going on from Knit Picks. I'm calling them Sally because they're inspired by our favorite Halloween movie, which is Nightmare Before Christmas, because it is bestest movie. Bestest movie. So we've got a whole bunch of stripes going on here. I've finally made my way to a stripe repeat. That's not insignificant.
It's looking really good.
I'm really liking these colors, and I'm really enjoying this Felici yarn because I've never worked in it before. So I'm going to buy more Felici yarn on my to-do list for the year to make sure it's not just like a one-off fluke. Get some more sock yarn from Knit Picks and do that because I love their wool of their Andes for sweaters. Which, I'll be talking about the sweater I'm working on in a few minutes from Knit Picks yarn. So that's happening. I was going to do them 2 at a time toe up, but I did a toe And I usually do a toe, transfer the stitches onto my DPNs, do another toe, and then just start magic looping them up to make my increases not take forever. Because if you think about it, you're at like 60 stitches in width, and you got to get to 68, so you have 2 more increases. Technically that's 120 some odd stitches because you've got 60 on like each foot. So a round takes a while. So I do my toes individually and then I combine, but that's just a quirk for me. So, but I didn't, I forgot, and I just started knitting up my foot. But that's okay, because, you know, I just randomly had a free pair of knitting needles sitting and waiting for me at my local yarn shop this week. So I'll get back into that in a moment when I'm done. I suppose I have to keep going, don't I?
If you like. Especially since I just realized I forgot to bring one of the things that I worked on this week. I was not fully awake when I packed my bag this morning.
Cool. I was
I'll talk about it anyway, I just don't have anything to show for it.
I was in charge of making the coffee, and that's what I did.
I am too old to go out drinking. This is what I have learned this week.
Listen, if you haven't figured out in your late 20s, there's no hope for you.
I have solidified this notion in my mind.
Good, I guess. All right,
Not doing that again.
I am working on my podcast anniversary knit along. I started super late, and by super late I mean 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
2, 3? One of those numbers.
One of those is a correct number. I am doing the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. This is one of their free patterns, though, oh, the number of love notes that I've seen, number of stunning, Jenny, I'm looking at you, stunning love notes that I have seen being put together. One of those is going on the needles this year. It is so pretty. But I need to be careful because I love the sort of muted, soft color palettes a lot of people have been choosing to do their love notes in.
Mm-hmm.
And soft pastel-y colors and me don't always really rarely get along, if we're honest. So I need to find one that does not wash me out or make my mother look at me and start laughing. So until that colorway is found, here, have a cranberry red Harvest Cardigan. I have not done my shoulder increases. We're getting quite bunched on my 40-inch cord. I am not a small human being. I am doing the 51-inch bust because I prefer sweaters with 0 to negative ease around the girls because the rest of me is significantly smaller than the ladies. And by significantly smaller, I mean significantly smaller than the ladies. So it'll just naturally A-frame out and look good on me because that's how it works for me. But I made a mistake. I'm really close to combining my 3rd ball of yarn. Like I got dredges going on here, so I'm almost in my first 100 grams of yarn. I'm supposed to be purling, and I knitted instead about 12 stitches. And you're like, Jocelyn, you could totally tink 12 stitches in a worsted weight yarn. You're right. Most of the time I can. I'm having an awful time focusing this week on anything, so I'm going to be like, hey, Diana, can you tink 12 stitches for me? So I can add a 3rd ball of yarn?
Yes, I can tink 12 stitches.
That would be amazing. Thanks.
I'll do that right now.
Beautiful.
So I'm also working on Jocelyn's Harvest Cardigan.
You work on like all of my projects. Not my crochet projects.
This yarn feels amazing. I love it.
That's the wool of the Andes from Knit Picks.
So it's just back to the stitch marker?
Yeah, she's back to the stitch marker.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I decided that stitch marker was marking the edge of my border because you make your garter border for your collar at the same time you're making your sweater. So they have you knit the back, which sits around your back, to where your shoulders, like the start of your shoulders are. And then you pick up along the one side, which is essentially just a garter tab pick up like you would for a shawl. And then they have you do your shoulder increases, but the first 16 stitch, in my case, 16 stitches. And my last 16 stitches are always knit. So that I get that garter collar border.
Right.
All the way down. Which is so cool. Like, I love how that's done. I'm going to do things a little differently. I've been looking at the sleeve construction. I'm going to do the sleeves bottom up. So once I'm done my increases and I split for my shoulders, like for my sleeves, I'm going to knit my sleeves separately because I knit in the round backwards. I just knit in the round backwards. Like, there's no other, that's just what happens. What is the fluffer doing? Sleeping. So because I do that, if I was to attach the sleeves and then knit them on the body, knowing me, I'd end up with the purl side out and the knit side in, which would be the wrong way, guys. be the wrong way.
Be an interesting detail.
It's not what I'm looking to do. So I'm going to knit my sleeves from the bottom up to where they're going to connect, and then I will just seam them together. Because I'd have a seam anyway from picking up the stitches around the outside.
Okay.
So what's the difference between doing that? Then it would be for finishing off the stitches for the armhole and then just attaching my sleeve. Not really a difference if you're honest about it, or if I'm honest about it. It doesn't make a difference to me. And it will help me tell which way my sweater's inside out, because I'll have the seam on the inside. With this color, I'm not going to be able to tell otherwise.
Just come over one day like,
Jocelyn, your sweater's inside out. Oh, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? It also means that I can make sure the sleeves are the length I want them to be, because I can just make them the length I want and not worry. I did order extra yarn. I always order a bit of extra yarn because I need extra length. And I like long sleeves. So I'm just going to do the sleeves the way I like them and the way I want them. And then I will attach them to the body when I'm done. Or when I'm 2/3 of the way down and really want to see a sweater falling off my needles. So I'm going to do that, I think, that way. So one week, I'll just whip out my sleeves and get them finished and over with. Now that I've got a partial row to do, I really want to finish it. All right, I have 1 crochet project, 2 crochet projects, 3 crochet projects. And 1 more knitting project.
I'll jump in with the project that I don't have to show off.
Is it your sweater?
No, I actually didn't touch that one this week.
Whoa.
I know.
The goal is to catch up and pass you. You may have noticed.
Yes, I think you're doing an admirable job.
I hope so, but you're got sleeves, aren't you?
I believe I am now long enough to split for sleeves.
Okay, so I have to haul butt this week, and I've got a bunch of other stuff on my plate.
Well, I have this other thing that I'll talk about in a minute that I'm working on.
Okay.
First, I'll talk about the thing that I don't have to show off because it's less interesting.
Staring at me.
She's staring at both of us.
Dear Lord, my cat is creepy.
Anyway, hopefully you've seen the project before, the mitts that I've been working on for my brother since last August, the blue stripy ones.
Yeah.
They are my travel project, which means they are currently in the bag that travels with me everywhere. And I forgot to take them out of that bag and put them in the bag that I brought here. So they're my travel project. I made more good progress on them this week. I think I'm about that high up on knee, pointing it somewhere between my first and second knuckle and my first finger.
I was like, that's going to be super helpful for the audio people.
Yeah. Which means I need to knit an inch and a half more, because my brother has longer fingers than I do. So if I knit just straight roundy until it's at the top of my middle finger and then do decreases, they'll be the right size for him. Because our hands are about the same width. He's just got much longer fingers because he's a pianist. The long fingers and the singing voice and the musical tone.
This is the woman with a really good job in the tech industry who isn't even yet unemployed and already taking business interviews. Right.
I also got the good teeth, so I like that.
I think of the two, the good teeth are the better end of the deal.
Anyway, the thing that I don't have to show off is coming along very well, and you'll have to take my word for it.
And that's how the cookie crumbles? And now you know the rest of the story. I don't know where I remember that from. I'm remembering it from something.
I was thinking just now about reading Rainbow. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Oh, LeVar Burton, you're an amazing man. Alright. In the project bag that my cat absolutely hates, because it's not actually a project bag, she will hunt this lunch bag down, and she will play around with it. She'll stick her head in it, she'll pull things out of it, she'll mash it to death. It's because it makes a crinkly sound, because it's got the insulation in it. But my God, she hates this bag. I don't use it to hold lunches, because I work from home.
It's a very cute project bag.
But it makes an excellent, cute little project bag. And should I ever work out of the home, I can just take the project out and use it as a lunch bag, which is what it's actually meant to be used for. Because it's a good size for a project bag. I had put in 3 balls of worsted Vanna's Choice in blue, held double with a DK from Loops and Threads in their Ice Cream Big Scoop colorway to make me a bulky yarn with a pair of knitting needles, which is the size I don't remember. I believe 8mm.
Could be.
I can give them to you. You'll
Yeah.
be able to read them. Might be on the other one.
Oh. Yeah, it is. Oh, they're so bouncy.
They're very
That's
bouncy.
9mm.
9 millimeters.
US
Okay.
13.
US 13. So I was using a 9mm for bulky yarn. Well, 2 strands held double. And I have a good chunk of the third ball left. But this was an experiment on making a Jocelyn-sized cowl. Because I find cowls too short. Not height, but depth-wise. So I was like, well, whatever. I'll make my own. This monstrosity occurred.
That is a... Wow.
It is a big, long 2x2 rib. There is no Here's the pattern. Cast on 140 stitches. Do 2x2 rib till you run out of yarn, or you're like, dear God, if I do another row, I'll go mad. Bind off. You now have a big cowl.
That looks so freaking cozy.
But Jocelyn needs a big fluffy cowl. This is not washed or blocked. This literally came off the needles yesterday night. That's it.
Looks so cozy.
Yeah.
Looks so good.
And it's acrylic, so I can wash and dry the snot out of it, which is excellent because, let's be honest, it's going to be up near my face. I'm going to be breathing in the wintertime. It's going to get frosted.
I was going to say there's going to be
contact people.
literal snot.
Possibly if I've been holding a small human. Myself if I've sneezed. So that's a thing. So this had to happen. So this is nice and big. I feel like if I had done a few more inches, it'd be too tall. And you'd lose my head. And I do need to see when I'm walking. I don't see much, but I'd like to see what I can while I'm going places. So I finished that this week too, because I really wanted to get some stuff done and off. But it is big enough that I can drape it over my head, because sometimes I don't travel with a hat. I know, I live in a province where it gets cold and I don't travel with a hat. What am I thinking? That I hate hats. That's what I'm thinking. But I can do this, and then it covers my whole back.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, and it tucks up right under my coat, so it'll be nice and close, and with my sweaters to keep the wind out. But it doesn't cover my face, because heavens knows, if we cover my face like people are supposed to do when it's cold outside,
Your glasses fog up?
my glasses fog instantly.
Yeah.
As it is, if I'm doing this in the daytime, my sunglasses will still fog like crazy. It's one of the reasons I don't wear a hat. The other one is, let's be honest, I have super, super thick hair. I actually don't need a hat. I get warm without one. So, I now have a cowl that is the right length for me and height for me. It is amazing. Would you like to pile this on your head and then try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I also figured out why I'm having so much trouble with ribbing on a fingering weight size now that I've done it on a bulky size is there's bumps when the purl or knit side faces you, which I have never seen before. Well, it was I didn't think. But yeah, if you want, you can try it. It's huge, it's bulky, it's crazy. It is a delightful, fun thing to have. It also means, we said those were 9mm.
Yeah.
What size millimeter did you make your tubular hat on? 13?
Bigger. I want to say 13. I don't know if that's right.
In which case,
It's on my project page.
I definitely have 13. Oh, geez, again with the project pages. Definitely have 13 size millimeter needles. Okay.
Right.
I have 2 crochet things.
I have 1 crochet thing.
Would you like to do your crochet thing and then I will do my crochet thing? After you've piled yourself into that. It's a beautiful, and because I held the 2 colors together, they marled so pretty. Are you getting stuck in your own cowl?
I'm drowning.
Your head's smaller than me. This isn't really possible. Because I held the 2 colors together, it marled really nicely.
It did.
So like, looks so good.
It's very pretty.
Oh, I'm really happy with
It's
how it
definitely
turned
too
out.
big for me.
I made it for me. I'm bigger than you. It's neither good nor bad. It's just factoids.
It is glorious.
I know. Isn't it exciting?
I
I mean,
make one.
you could do the 140 stitches, just don't do as many like inches in length. Like make it
Little bit less.
a little bit less in row repeats for you because you don't need as many as I do. I'll write a blog post which will be super vague and go by measurements, because then that way everybody can adjust them quickly to their sizes.
Sounds good.
There you go. And it will
Nice.
also serve as the project page. No, I know it's not a real project page. I know, Asa, I can hear you right now. I know. Do my project pages. Oh my god, you guys get off my back.
Hadn't actually said anything that time.
I don't have to. I can hear the judgment. I can hear it.
Alright. I'm working on the corner-to-corner crochet blanket. I'm into the final decreases towards the final corner. I was hoping to have this much closer to done today because Chris is back in town tonight, and I was hoping to have this blanket ready for him to take back with him when he leaves next Monday. It's still not outside the realm of possibility, but it's pretty close to outside the realm of possibility.
Anybody who can see my face right now can see my face of, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I'm going to try.
It's a cute pipe dream, and I will fully support your pipe dream.
I'm going to try. It's not going to happen. But this is Gloria's red, gold, black, white thing out of Lion Brand Heartland.
Yep. That's the name of the yarn you used.
Yep. So, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It is coming along nicely. It is a very nice, not quite mindless. I'm not quite that good at crochet that it's mindless, but it's very meditative.
Oh, good.
Because it's chain 3, and then do 3 double crochets, and then slip stitch into the next square, and then chain 3. So it's like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
You are
3.
so creepy.
Cat staring at us with giant eyes.
She's in full sleep posture, and eyeballs just looking at me.
It's kind of, yeah, it is sort of a creepy stare.
It
Now
is
you pointed out.
creepy. Go to sleep. Or, like, if we're too loud, go to the other room and go to sleep.
Or
There's
like
a whole bed.
blink or something.
Cats don't blink.
Just
I know, it's creepy. It's
stop
really
staring.
Creepy. It's just really creepy. Cat.
What were we talking about? I don't remember.
You were talking about your yarn and your blankets.
I think I'm done with the blanket. It's happening. It's not happening fast enough.
I think we will see it for at least another week or two.
I think so.
But I could be wrong, and we may never see it again because it's gone off with Chris. We will find out next week.
I will.
Dun dun dun.
Well, I will be taking pictures and updating my project page.
Oh, Lord. Listen, your birthday's coming up in like 10 days. Maybe I'll do project pages for you for your birthday.
That would be glorious. I would love to have something to link to.
It's like, oh, what'd you give Diana for her birthday? I did my project pages. Just, could you imagine everybody but, you know, the Knit Club staring at me in confusion and the Knit Club laughing at me because I would absolutely do that to you for your birthday?
It'd be great.
I believe I pointed out to you I need plain colored sock yarn. I might get a ball of plain colored sock yarn.
Yes, you might get the most boring yarn ever.
A white ball of sock yarn. Or a gray ball of sock yarn. Which would be amazing because I need a plain colored ball of sock yarn. Don't get me wrong. I love the crazy sock yarn. And those sock balls in a box?
Mm-hmm.
Those looked nifty. I like the one where if you buy it and you post pictures and tag it, they donate a tree.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, you can be making your own socks and planting trees without actually having to go plant the tree. I'm klutzy, guys. I'd fall in the hole for the tree. But that's so cool. And you'd have matched socks. I told my mom, she said maybe when they're down, when they pick me up in May, we'll buy some socks and boxes. Ooh, she likes the box socks. She likes the idea. I'm like, so I make you socks? She's like, well, I'll pick ones I like out. I'm like, well, they're wool, Mommy. How about we buy the wool ones for me and then we get cotton and I make you cotton socks? Mm-hmm.
So what do we have left? You have things. You still have things.
Mm-hmm. When don't I have things?
More things, more things.
Before this goes out, everyone who's on the Patreon people have already seen the rug. So here is the rug. No, there is no pattern. I looked at a bunch of crocheted rugs and I went, oh, those look nifty. And then I just cast it on and made one of my own. So if I'm going to link a pattern, I'm going to have to write one.
I do my best. I do my best.
This is the problem
now
that
I work with.
should see me with sewing patterns. I'm always like, oh, that looks good. And I sort of wing it. People are going to start shooting me. Sure. Jocelyn! What? No more casting on to do your project pages. You're not the boss of me.
Write things down, make notes.
I do that all the time. They're just on paper scrap in like size 17 font. With a 9mm sized crochet hook, I made a magic circle by chaining 4. I then proceeded to make an ever-growing circle. And I kept making the circle I kept making the circle, and I kept making the circle, and I kept making the circle. And to do increases on circles when you're crocheting, you add one more stitch between each double stitches in the next singular stitch.
Say that one more time.
Okay, so you're increasing in a circle.
Yeah.
So you do your circle and say, I did this in double crochets. So I did 12 double crochets in my magic circle.
Mm-hmm.
Cinched up the circle nice and tight. Nice and tight. I'm going to feel up my boobs. It's fine. Nice and tight. There's no hole there. Super tiny tight hole. Next row. You should have 24 stitches because you put a stitch in each one of the 12 stitches.
Okay.
Put 2 stitches in each of the 12 stitches. The row after that, you do 2 double crochet, a single crochet, 2 double crochet in each stitch. And then you literally, that every sequential row, that singular double crochet increases by 1. So the next row you would do 2 double crochet in a stitch, a double crochet, 2 double crochet. Then double crochets, 2 double crochets, a double crochet, a double crochet, a double crochet, 2 double crochets.
Okay.
So the number increment between your increased stitches increases by 1 each round.
Okay.
That's the math. I'm sure there's a much better way of explaining it, but that's the math. I increased to 20 stitches between each round, between each increase. On double crochets, that's it. That's all I did. I went roundy, 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 double crochets all the way up, and then I did 1 border of a half double crochet just to give it a little bit of a difference. Then I threw it in the washing machine. This is what I did. It's acrylic. This is going to go live underneath my spinning wheel. It had to be big enough to fit my feet, my spinning wheel, and my cat. So I made sure it was big enough for all 3 of us. Because she sits beside me when I'm sewing and when I'm spinning, but she hates the broom. I don't know. She makes no sense. She has no problem with the loud sewing machine, but if you use the broom, she freaks out. It's very illogical. So this is big enough for my spinning wheel to sit on. It's a single treadle Ashford traditional. So I will have my 1 foot on the sewing spinning. I'll have 1 foot on the rug, so the rug won't move. I only have hardwood floors. I probably should have prefaced the whole explanation with this. I prefer hardwood floors. I do not like carpets anywhere. I'm okay with rugs because they're things I can pull up and wash. Only if I can pull them up and wash them. But this will fit me, this will fit my cat, and this will fit my spinning wheel. Perfect. It'll go in the sewing room. She'll sleep on it when I'm not using the spinning wheel, which I could really care less about. And I can pull it up and wash it every month.
Sounds perfect.
So happy. This is made out of some gifted to me Bernat Chunky. I even have the ball band. But no project page. Oh, I have 3 crochet projects. I lied. Bernat Chunky. I don't know if it's got a color. I'm not sure, guys. But
Gray.
sure. It's definitely grayscale. But this is what I got left. Not a ton of a chunky yarn, so I can make something. But the texture feel between even when it was washed once versus when it's not been washed is vastly different.
Yeah, this is like, okay, so in the ball, the remainder in the ball is like slightly crunchy and like...
Yeah, just, it's not fun wool rustic.
No.
It's acrylic crunchy.
Yeah, it's like...
You're like, no, it's
like
not.
It feels like it's almost not quite squeaking, but like it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So I mean, it's not really, in my mind, super good for much other than like home decor stuff. But washing it once, it softens up enough that it's fine. It's an excellent floor rug material, is what it is.
It's much softer when it's washed,
and it is an excellent floor rug material because even this little thin layer does a lot to just keep my feet warm without needing a pair of lightweight socks in the winter. So super stoked about that. And the cat loves to sleep on it. So, you know.
It's a finished object. Is it supposed to go on my head?
Do you want to put it on your head?
It's a finished object. It's supposed to
Here
go there.
I have a finished object to put on your head. Now, I worked on that crochet rug.
It's a dramatic sad? Wow. Hat. It's a dramatic hat. Drooping off to the side is what I'm trying to say with my words.
I was like, what words are you using? Like, I don't
know.
understand what English you're going with here.
I don't think it's English.
It's crazy. I was working on that before I would fall asleep in the evenings when I woke up in the mornings. And I was listening to the CBC radio morning program. Pick a day of the week, weekend, daytime. I listened to the radio in the morning. And I got to the habit where when I wasn't working on it, I just sort of dropped it off the edge of the bed. So I got used to having a little rug under my feet when I got up and went to bed. I liked it so much, I was like, well, that's not what that rug's for. So I'm going to make one for my feet, for my bed. But this one, I was like, I wanted it a little bit denser, a little more squish, But I'm doing the exact same thing I did the first time. I will square this off. I will rectangle the circle off once the circle is big enough. Because again, that's just a calculation of mathematics for how you do it. I can write it out for people if they want it. So I'm currently making my circles to make it big enough, and I'm not dumb. It has to be big enough for my feet and my cat.
Yes.
Because she will choose to sleep on it at some point. But guys, I've got acrylic floating around in my stash. Why wouldn't I use it? So I had made a lamb glam, but I didn't like how it was draping. Because while the yarn was beautiful, it was a little slippery for a garment of clothing. Like there wasn't quite enough structure to it. So I pulled it apart. I'm not going to wear it. Why would I keep it? And that was the Brava yarn from Knit Picks in Eggplant, I think. Super dark
Couldn't
purple.
tell you.
I want to say it's Eggplant because it's a super dark aubergine color. So I'm holding that, which is already a bulky yarn, double with the leftover Barcelona yarn I have in Glacier, which is this beautiful lightly variegated gray scale colorway from white to gray, which if you guys remember, I made a giant comfy house cardigan out of late last year, early this year. Did I start that in January or December? January, late December, because this was Boxing Day buy after Christmas. So I have two very large oversized crocheted comfy sweaters that I love to wear, and I'm using the leftovers from one of those to make this beautiful variegated purple gray floor mat. Now I'm not dumb. I'm gonna have to have one on the other side of my bed. Otherwise I'll just lose it when my mom comes to visit, and she'll go put it under where her feet sit when she gets in and out of bed. So to prevent that, that's going to happen. But I also know I need to replace the mats in my kitchen and in my bathroom. So I hope you guys are excited about seeing rugs for a while, because that's just what I'm going to be making for a bit, just to replace all of them with my handmade stuff, because that goes for the handmade house.
Yeah.
And there are things that I'm quite enjoying creating and making. And they're all acrylic, so I can wash them and dry them, which is really important to me because I wash and dry a lot of stuff because I'm allergic to my cat. So the fight against cat dander and cat hair is at all times constant in this house for me. It's what I had to do to own her, and I knew that going into this mess. So that's what I'm doing. So here's another, no pattern exists for it, rug that I literally work on before I fall asleep and when I wake up in the morning.
No project pages.
Nope.
Nothing to link to. No
Nope.
patterns. I
No
got nothing.
patterns. You got nothing. I don't have a pattern. No pattern exists for these things.
So make a project page.
I swear. Alright, and then I did more squares. Because I gotta get that blanket done for my aunt. There is a pattern for that. I was supposed to look it up. It's on my phone. Guys, we record on my phone. If you remember, remind me when we're done recording to get that pattern name for you. It makes a very cute crocheted blanket for a queen size bed. It's a big blanket made up entirely of 2.5-inch sized granny squares. 2.5 inch. I'm going to be sewing this thing together for ages. I need to make 1 million. No, it's going to feel like 1 million. I need to make 2 7-ounce balls worth of Bernat Premium in each color, and I need 6 colors for the blanket I'm doing. You're supposed to do 1 of each color and rainbow it out, but my aunt really likes blues and greens, so I cut that in half, and I'm only doing blues and greens. So I did the dark blues. This bag is not full yet because I still have another ball of dark blue to go. I'm doing it the Bernat Premium because I know it holds up well to washing and drying, and I quite enjoy working on it because even though it is an acrylic, not even washed, it is a really nice soft against your skin acrylic. So I'm going to do that.
I like that color of blue.
I know, isn't that pretty blue?
It's like it's almost like it glows softly, but not grotesquely.
It's not, it's that mix between a cobalt blue and a navy blue.
Yes.
It's like a just perfect royally blue, which is great. So I'm going to do that, though I have to take a break because the blue is just dark enough that I'm not seeing it super well. So I'm going to do a lighter shade of blue next. Then I got greens and stuff. I need to be done all of my squares before I go see my mom in May. Because I need to sew the squares together while I'm out visiting with my mom. Why, you may ask? Because my mom's cat is 17 years old. So if I put things out on the bed, he won't mess with them. He might get up and sleep in the middle of them, but he weighs like 7 pounds. He is a tiny, tiny old man cat, and it'll be fine. My mom will be more of a problem because she might mess around with my squares just to mess with me. It's a mom's prerogative. They get to do these sorts of things.
This is true.
So that's fine. Or she might be like, oh, that's pretty. I want one. Oh, wow, it worked. So I still need to do, I think it's like 44 ounces of the neutral color to combine it all. Plus a border edging. But I need to get all of my little squares done first, and then I need to lay out my squares so that I can sew them together, which will be one day me taking over like 2/3 of a floor space and literally laying out the entire pattern. And then what I'm probably going to do is go to Dollarama and buy a bunch of a couple boxes of those safety pins they have, and just safety pin the rows together.
Ooh.
So that way the rows stay together as I'm sewing, and I'll just do the one side all the way down for each row, and then I'll just sew the strips.
Okay.
Because then I can sew the strips in one long go.
That sounds like a plan.
I think that's probably going to be my best bet for that. So I won't have super crud ton of ends to weave in. I'll just have a ton of ends to weave in. On top of ends I've already woven in. All of the ones once they go in the bag have had their ends woven in.
That's smart.
So at least I've taken that stage out of it, but there will still be more end weaving to do. But once I've done that, because once that's done, the pattern's out and it's sewn together, I can do the border edge for it, and that just goes all the way around. So any of my ends sticking out on the end of the blanket can be crocheted into the border.
That's what I'm counting on for this one. It gets a border at the end.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why I'm not worrying about my ends.
It helps so much to give it a border.
So nice.
So I'm going to do that, and then I won't have that many ends to weave in, but I will have some. So the sewing process will be kind of interesting, but if I like it, don't get me wrong, I'll do a 7-color one for myself. Or maybe my niece, I got her one of my blankets that I had when I was much younger needed to have the bottom of it, like the underside, replaced. So I made it sort of an extra large baby blanket for her. So I put a fleece lining on the bottom on top of the butterfly pink top that I had when I was little. And it sits on her bed. But her bed is finally at the size where it's like bigger than the blanket itself. So I asked her if she would like to have a replacement blanket made by Auntie Jocelyn. She said she would, because she likes the things I make. So, I mean, there's a distinct difference between a queen-sized adult bed and a single bed.
Yes.
And I can make her a single bed blanket. And if I make it an extra long, kind of extra wide single blanket, she can then make it a couch blanket when she's an adult. So it's something that can transition and grow with her. It's all about being able to repurpose things. The goal is to get rid of some of these project bags I have, because apparently the number of project bags I have on the go is causing people stress. It's not causing me stress, but it's causing other people stress.
This means you have lots of interesting things to talk about on the podcast.
Well, I want to work on this because I'd like to be able to wear it first thing next fall. And let's be honest, I'm slow at cabling. But this is that winter honey.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to have this done.
Yeah.
But I got to start working on it while it's cooler, because I'm not going to want to work on it in the winter time. Look, this got this huge honkin', heavy, huge dragon progress keeper on it that my mom and my dad got me. Like the dragon thing, it's got some serious weight for a progress keeper. You can't even tell it's on there. That's how heavy the wool is on this shawl. This is Briggs & Little yarn. It's a really gorgeous rustic yarn, but like how cool would this be if I got it done and took it with my Cobalt spring coat out to mom and dad in May?
That'd be great.
And it would cover me for the cooler days, like first thing in the morning or in the evening if we're out. But then I can just take it off and scrunch it up really small and shove it in somewhere. And my mom will never take it because it's pink.
Perfect.
Regardless of the fact that it's wool. She just won't because it's pink. That's the thing. I don't know. I've got things I want to get done. Gotta get some stuff done. Also gotta get some stuff going. I'm out of things to talk about now.
All right.
That is all the projecting I've done. She's so cute when she's not staring at me creepy.
Oh, you woke her up.
Yeah, well, I do it all the time.
Now she's staring creepy again. We have more things to talk about.
Always.
Let's just combine Yarn on the Go and Spinning Yarns because we went out to the Winnipeg Drop Spinners
To spin.
to spin yarn.
Which was great. It was lovely
Yeah,
to see the ladies.
It was really nice to just chill in that space in the Forks.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
You should be able to make next month. I mean, you won't make April's because you'll
No,
be gone.
I will be gone in April.
But you
When
should
is
make
next
March. I don't know. Jocelyn hasn't decided.
month?
It's not next week. I haven't poked Jocelyn. Different Jocelyn.
Okay.
I haven't poked Jocelyn yet, so I will try to see what we can make a date for. And I will try to make sure it's not the week I may be helping you pack your apartment in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We could do your apartment in less than 14 if I had to. I would just rather not have to. 48's positively freeing. That'd be easy. I mean, I'll stay over for the night. We'll get the kid to watch the cat, and I will stay over for a night. Cause
Get everything done.
just get it all done, or if we've got leftovers, you can just abandon me in your apartment, go to work, and I can just continue working while you're gone.
Fair enough.
Because I'll just self-regulate and take my own damn breaks. And sit on the couch and knit. You get a text. Well, I could be packing, but I got
we're
bored.
knitting.
But so I'm knitting instead. Thanks for the Wi-Fi. I still randomly wander around and go, die, you filthy germ!
We were talking about spinning.
We spun things.
I spun silk.
You did. You took a
on
photo.
I was really impressed with how that photo turned out.
That was a 9mm sized metal crochet hook hitting the coffee table. Sorry. Oh, people on earbuds, that would have been loud.
I got this gorgeous fiery red orange pulled sari silk from Sarah Elizabeth that I've been spinning up on my Jelligan, which is spelled Dealgan because...
Yeah, I read your post and I was
Reasons.
like, man, is that how that's spelled? Holy jeez,
I
that
know.
is not how you pronounce it at all.
It's not even close.
Holy
But
Hannah.
I'm super happy with how this is spinning up. I think I will be able to get all of
Just
my
makes my
red...
stuff look crazier.
It came in a pack that had like 3 colors in it, so I separated it into the sort of red-orange, a bit of a paler yellow, and then purple. So I think I should be able to fit all of each color into its own little ball, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to ply them together or what exactly I'm going to do with them after that, or maybe I'll just leave them as adorable little singles. I don't know, but I'm thoroughly enjoying spinning this. It is so freaking soft, and it is so freaking pretty. I'm just really happy with that.
We have this beautiful, consistent spinning, and then I'm trying to learn how to make art
It's-
yarn on a drop spindle, and
not
mine is
very consistent.
crazy.
The inconsistencies are wonderfully hiding right now.
Okay.
There's big noops, I think they're called.
Really?
I don't know. The thicker spots.
Yeah, well, no, you've got the wording right. I'm just like, yours is inconsistent? No, guys, I'm trying to make art yarn. I'm supposed to be inconsistent, and it's supposed to be fun. It's still, when I look at yours, I'm like, ooh, boy.
Well, I
Mine
was
looks
aiming for consistent,
awful.
and it's not terribly consistent. You're aiming for inconsistent, and it looks great.
I am aiming for artsy-fartsy yarn, and that's what I'm getting on the drop spindle. Which, I was laughing because I know the ladies were watching me because I pull the fiber apart into smaller bits so that I can put in the nubs and make it inconsistent by constantly having to join small pieces. Which is weird, but it's forcing me to not just do the normal drafting procedure, which is allowing me to get a more inconsistent yarn look, which is what you want in an art yarn. You want a consistent inconsistency.
Yes.
I'm working on that. So I'm inconsistent, but I'm not consistently inconsistent, which makes no sense. But I am done. The bag is empty.
Woo!
I finished my first little 2-ounce bump of yarn. It is not all on here. I did wind up some little dudes. This was never meant to grow up to be anything. This is my first experimentation with learning how to do drop spinning art yarn. This is a standard Ashford drop spindle. Nothing fancy going on here. I finished this morning, so I have not wound this off because I want it to rest a little bit. Because sometimes when I'm spinning, I'm it's a little active. The twist factor in a couple spots is a smidge high.
You don't say.
Just a touch. This yarn had all sorts of fibers going on in it. So its only grown-up existence is to be skeined up and look pretty.
I think it's going to do an admirable job of
And
that.
I think it's going to look great when it's done. So the goal is, right now I have a big old vase, because I used to burn a lot of candles. And it has sock yarn leftovers in it right now. I'd like to replace that with small mini skeins of drop spun art yarn, because I'm going to be using those small amounts of leftover sock yarn to make a Cozy Memories blanket. So, because I'm going to cast on the Cozy Memories blanket this month,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to pull that sock yarn out and put it in a bag so it lives with its project. So this will be the first to start filling up the vase again with pretty yarn. It also means that my drop spindle has somewhere to live.
That's a good idea.
Which is good, because I keep losing it. It's a huge drop spindle, but I misplace it all the time. So this stuff came from, I don't know why I even bother. I've never been able to read that label.
Wildwind Naturals.
It's really pretty. It had some reds, it's got some golden tawny yellow with browns, it has some whites, it's got some greens, it's got stellina, it's got all sorts of different fibers going, like a ton of different fibers.
Different fibers contained within are merino, cormo, kid mohair locks, angelina, BFL locks, and Polwarth muga and teas. Oh, there's also mulberry silk and silk noil.
Yep.
2.9 ounces.
Yep.
Lots of stuff in this.
Lots of stuff was going on, and it was delightful because I got to experience a bunch of different things, and I really enjoyed the art spinning on the drop spindle. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to work on normal drafting on the my spinning wheel now that I've got a rug, so it doesn't try to slide away from me on my hardwood floors while I spin. That's fun. So I'm going to work on that, but by separating the two, I'm hoping I can keep them separate enough in my mind that I'm not confusing them. So I'll get a more consistent yarn on my spinning wheel and an inconsistent yarn, or a consistently inconsistent yarn on my drop spindle, because I like the look of both. I like the look of both. So we'll see how I do, but in the next day or so I can wind this bad boy off, skein it up, and call her done.
Nice.
And I do have another bump to start. I bought specifically to spin on my drop spindle. So that's happening. Yay! I'm so happy to be done. It's my very first completed spinning. It's my very first bump I've ever completed.
That's awesome. So good. It's so fun.
I know. It's very arty.
I'm very excited to see that all skeined up.
Oh, I'm super excited to do it, but I should not do it today because that literally finished spinning it at noon. It's now
definitely.
3. I gotta leave it.
Definitely leave it.
Gotta leave it.
Gotta
Okay,
leave it.
what's next? Stop staring at me, creeper.
That was those. So we're on to wool gathering.
Sweet, let's gather some wool.
The next Patreon hangout is going to be on Saturday, March the 21st at noon Central. Is it going to be daylight time by then? I feel like it is. I feel like daylight time happens next week.
Is it in March or April we move to daylight savings time?
I think it's actually next Sunday.
Is it next Sunday?
I think so.
It affects me not one whit, so I don't notice because I am not a complainer.
It'll be at noon, our local time here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Whatever time zone that happens to be.
Well, you know, if people just look up the time when we get closer to the date, your phones will do it for you. Google will tell you what time 12 p.m. Winnipeg is your time.
Also, I'm pretty good at getting it out about an hour and a half before
You've
we
gotten
start.
really good at that.
Yeah,
which
I know
is
what I'm
good
doing
'cause
now.
It prompts my butt to, make lunch. Reminds me to get off my computer and start doing something useful.
What we're talking about is a Google Hangout with our Patreon supporters of $5 and up.
$5 and up.
It's just a nice way to hang out and say thank you and also see what all of you are working on.
We had a very full house last Saturday. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, it was so good. So delightful.
I enjoyed
So
that.
many projects. So many beautiful faces. Anyway,
So many time zones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's also super fun. I really like that.
Isn't that great?
Like, what time is it there? Where are you?
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, it's the end of your day.
Okay.
What did you do today?
Cool.
Oh, it's the beginning of your day. What do you plan to do today?
Yeah. And we're all in our own homes, so we don't require pants.
I definitely enjoy that I can do it in my pajamas some weeks.
I super enjoy being able to do it in my pajamas. Sometimes I put pants on just to creep the cat out.
Other things going on is the podcast anniversary knit along to celebrate 3 years of this crazy podcast thing that we've been doing.
Episode 156 is right around the corner.
That will officially mark 3 years.
It will, just after our birthdays.
So if you would,
literally just after our birthdays.
Yep.
155 is next week, which is our birthday week, and then 156 is the week after.
that lines up.
Says math.
If you would like to join us in celebrating, knit any adult-sized sweater by Tin Can Knits. They have a wide range of size options and free patterns as well.
Well, I guess I got a Hull keister. One of us should be done at the end of March.
Yeah, it's not going to be me.
Woo boy, guys, guess what I get to do this week?
It's super not going to be me.
Super need to make some sleeves. Hey, my 5mm DPNs are free right now. I should just do that.
We're very loose with the end date. We're saying the end of March, but it'll be when one of us finishes our sweater.
Which could legit be the end of March if I just buckle down and get it done.
So it might be the end of March. Could be like halfway through
April.
We're pretty loose on it. So when you finish, post a picture in the finished objects thread on our Ravelry group, and you'll be eligible for a prize that I've forgotten what it is.
We're doing electronic prizes this year.
Yes.
Randomly giving gifts. Update your wish lists. Update your wish lists. Because by the time you've figured out you've won, you'll have already seen I've gifted you something from your wish list. There's a video. I did a little thingy about that. As always, if you guys want me to just do a separate video on some Ravelry things that we do, let me know. I'll just do separate videos and throw them up on YouTube. Not a problem. Not a problem.
I totally meant to figure out what episode that was.
I can't remember. I know we did it, but that was like way back in January, I think.
Was it that long ago?
We would have done it when we started the knit along. So yeah, I think December, January. Somewhere in there. We did a lot of videos in December and January.
If one of you lovely viewers knows what the heck episode we're talking about that has the Ravelry wishlist tutorial at the end, please tell us in the comments. We would like to know.
Yeah, or just say, hey, Jocelyn, make another video. I'll do that too. It's fine. It's no big worry. I'm already making what? There's 2 videos from me this week going up on Patreon. There's a video for you next week going up on Patreon.
Yeah, gotta record that tomorrow or Tuesday.
Well, you've got till the following Tuesday to get it up.
Yep.
And you record with me that Tuesday evening, and it better be up on Patreon before I see you Tuesday evening.
I've never uploaded a video to Patreon.
With my birthday dinner. You're making me record on my birthday. Well, you take your birthday evening off for pajamas and video gaming.
I mean, would you prefer to record a different day?
We don't have a different day. Have you seen your schedule?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not me. We don't have a different day.
Mr. Diana's in town. We'd have to do a lot of visiting. It's also my birthday, so that means even more visiting. All
the visiting going on right now. It's so much cake. Visiting and cake. Best things. No, it's fine. We're good.
Okay.
I don't mind doing it. If I had a problem with it, I'd be like, no, you're missing dance. Like, it's fine.
Fair enough.
I can still be in my pajamas.
Yes.
You won't care.
This is true.
I am in yoga pants right now.
And nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But yeah, that's our gathering of wool.
I got shiny things.
Would you like to show off your shiny things?
I would like to show off my shiny things.
I picked up a replacement needle. I had ordered a replacement for our initial broken set of needles 2 years later.
It just took that long to come in.
Oh my god. So, whatever, it's fine. It's in now. I can cast on a second pair of socks.
I got a goodbye present from a fellow crafter at work. She raided her stash of shiny things and gave me many, many gorgeous shiny things.
She was packing and found shiny things and didn't want to move them with her to Vancouver.
No, it wasn't that friend. It was a different friend.
Oh, different friend?
Different friend. So I have all of these gorgeous shiny beads that I need to find something to do with.
That's how my mom inherited mannequin heads.
So, if anyone has ideas of what to do with these gorgeous shiny beads, comments. We like comments. Please tell me what I should do with my lovely shinies.
Shinies?
I also have this gold shiny thread that I guess goes with them. I don't know. But
I have no
please tell
idea.
me what I should do with my shinies.
They did. You know those hairdresser heads with the hair on them?
Yeah.
A couple that my mom and dad are friends with, he got a job back in South Africa, so they moved back home. And she's a hairdresser, and she wasn't going to take the heads with her, so my mom got heads. Of course, my mom's like, so I inherited some heads. I'm like, cool, Halloween? She's like, I'm glad you went there immediately. I'm like, hello, it's us. That's clearly a Halloween decoration right there. Heads on spikes. I'm making heads on spikes when I'm out with my mom this year. Heads on spikes.
Sounds amazing.
I'm so stoked. Dad's doing a whole bunch of prepping, so I think I'm doing a bunch of varnishing and staining and painting for my mom while I'm out this year. oh no, I have to go suntan outside in nice weather and paint things for my mom, who
Gross.
then buys me things.
Terrible.
So hard.
The worst.
I am just harsh lifestyles here, people.
I think
With
we're
a dad who will drive me an hour one way to go get urine from Midnight Cravings.
Oh, terrible. Terrible. Hardships.
My life is so hard. I am blessed and I am aware of it. And I know I'm a spoiled brat. Alright, what's next?
Literature.
Do we want to talk about all the books I got?
Yeah, let's talk about all the books you got. You won some books.
Look at this stack of books! Okay, so I enter contests all the time because I can. Why not? I might win. Who knows? And I was listening to the radio, like you do when you're old, on CBC The Weekend Morning Show, which I listen to all the time. I've actually been their early bird. And they call and we chat about things. We chatted about the knitting podcast. It's a shocker. I know, you guys. They were doing a giveaway for the Canada Reads shortlist. Well, I already have the Canada Reads shortlist books, but they're electronic copies. And I'm like, but I want real copies. So I called in and I answered a multiple choice question, which wasn't that hard. They're not meant to be hard. And I got put in and my name got drawn. So I got all 5 of the Canada Short Reads books. And these are all trade paperback or hardcover. So like they're the big ones I can read with, I need to order a piece of equipment and then I can read. There's a lamp. It's a crafting lamp, you guys. It's a floor one where you got the lamp overhead and then you've got the magnifying glass for embroidery work. It's like a 10-inch wide 3x magnification lens in it. But between that and my bifocals, I can read print.
Nice.
Which is heavily complicated to say, but it lets me read print, which is not something I can do on my own anymore, even with the bifocals. I'm so close with the bifocals it hurts, but I'm not quite there. So I'm super excited because I will actually get to read like physical books for the first time in way longer than I care to admit out loud. Because it's very depressing when I say it. And as a self-proclaimed bibliophile, this is huge. Huge. So that's my birthday gift to myself is a lamp. That's what I'm buying. That's what I want, is my lamp. It's going to cost me like $150. It's not a cheap lamp, guys.
Ooh.
But it means I can do a bunch of stuff with it that I won't be able to do on my own. Like I might be able to tink my own fingering weight yarn.
Ooh.
So like there's things we have to try.
Yes.
So the whole short list is From the Ashes. I can't read the author's name.
Jessie Thistle.
No idea what that's about. I haven't read it yet. Small Game Hunting. Again, can't read the author's name.
Megan Gale Coles.
No idea, but it's got a deer on the cover.
Yeah.
It's like a nice orangey color. If only I organized my books by color. Then we've got, this one I can read. This is Cory Doctorow, and he wrote Radicalized. Or she, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. Hey, I could read the back of this. Wow. Love this cover. I could read the back of it. Woo. Super cool. I have read and finished We Have Always Been Here by Samra Habib. Because I have it on Audible. So I listen to it. Because I have it on Audible, so I listen to it. And then I have all of these digitally. And then I'm currently working through Song of a Trickster, which is also the only other one available on Audible. So I'm doing this one next. Because it's a heavy eyeball week. And this, The Son of a Trickster, is by Eden Robinson?
Yes.
This one's fiction. This one is about a Muslim lady who happens to be a member of the LGBTQ community. I definitely didn't do that right.
No, I think you did.
Oh, heavens only knows. So I was super excited. Diana came to the rescue with her shining steed, her car.
It's a very dirty shining steed.
And we went and we got it. And it came with a bag. I have another project bag. Woo! Which is super cool because now I have a CBC bag. I have a CBC Canada Reads bag. And I have one ages ago for the another CBC program. So I am very slowly and methodically collecting all of the CBC swag. And I am so pumped. I'm a huge fan. Are you kidding me? If I wasn't going for an impromptu, he needed an excuse to buy sushi dinner on Wednesday. There's a sort of roundhouse open talk on being offended and how the offense culture works nowadays and how we can go about correcting that so we're not closing down the dialogue and instead acknowledging that we're offended And then where do we go from there, conversation-wise?
Okay.
Rather than just not having the conversation up to that point. Which is intriguing to me because it is a complicated issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going in person because apparently I'm going for birthday sushi. I'm not going to say no to birthday sushi.
No, one does not say no to birthday sushi.
Not when I pointed out to him that he's buying the birthday sushi because he's the one who wants to go for sushi. And we're saying it's my almost birthday sushi.
Whatever you gotta do to justify the sushi.
That's fine. Super on board with this justification. No problem. I'm just not paying. I also got 2 notebooks. And they're really nice little notebooks. They got the little elastic band, and they've got this nice, like, craft paper look on the outside, but it's that hard one. And I know it's good paper on the inside because I can see the lines, which is a distinct difference between crappy paper and good paper. Because good quality paper has well printed lines on it. So I also have 2 new notebooks.
It's getting all the things.
I can't win for 6 weeks. That's fine. I am not offended. I did a lot of winning. Mind you, the Winter Warrior was more of a competition, and that was just sort of thank you swag I wasn't expecting. That was just a delightful bonus. And I love and live in that hoodie, by the way. When I'm gaming at night, it's me in the hoodie. And the cat licking the hoodie. I don't know why.
Hoodies are great. I need to replace my work hoodie.
Yeah? Do
It's
you want to get a new one before you go?
the cuffs are fraying.
Oh,
I have
my.
worn it and loved it so much the cuffs are fraying.
That is that your bold one?
Yeah.
You need a new one before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've got some swag bucks I can use for that.
Do it up. Do it
Yeah.
up. Do it up.
Gotta
Okay.
do that.
That's it for my reading. If you
Alright.
can tell, I'm in full Canada CBC reads to get those shortlists done because I believe it's the week of the 20th, 22nd. That's the week the hot air balloon debates take place.
That's soon.
That's really coming up quick, and I've got 3 full books to go still.
Hey, they're not tomes.
They are less than 500 pages apiece, so it's a lot easier to get 1 or 2 done a week.
I've been continuing puttering away at Persepolis Rising, which is the 7th book in the Expanse series on my commute to and from work.
It's a good one.
It's a
Yeah.
lot more politic-y in this one, I think. I mean, it's always politic-y, but it's like more the intricate politics, and it's fascinating to see how it's modified from the first book to the 7th.
Yes.
And I can't say much about it without giving away way too much.
Oh yeah, no. You got to stick to super generals.
But it's
Super good.
super enjoying it, and and the characters that you follow. I mean, you've got the crew of the Rocinante. You still follow them, of course, but the other point of view characters that they brought in over the course of the books,
They start to flesh them out, and they start to have real personalities.
Yeah,
It's nice.
I love it.
So good.
Oh,
So good. I can't wait for her to get through book 8.
I'm getting there.
So desperate.
Getting there.
It's gonna happen.
Yes. And then I've been reading 1 chapter every night before bed of These Old Shades,
Oh, good.
which is that Regency era melodramatic fluff.
It sounds delightful. I'm sorry, it sounds really good.
We've just had the twist,
Oh,
which
geez.
they put it on the back of the book. The twist is that the Duke of Avon's page is not Leon, but Leonie.
Oh my lord.
And so now he's adopted Leonie as his ward, daughter, person. And Ward?
Yeah.
And he's sent her off to live with his sister in England because this was taking place in France. And Leonie is very upset about this because she's been living as a boy for 7 years and was quite happy to continue doing so and is very upset. But she loves this Duke guy an absurd amount and is okay, it bothers me, this character of Leon, whatever, bothers me just a little bit.
Okay.
Because she's supposed to be, I think they said 19.
Okay.
But she's written like she's like 10 or 12. And I'm having trouble reconciling this in my brain.
I suppose it depends on the girl. But moving to another country to learn to become a girl because of a boy you loved is something a 19-year-old girl would do.
I'm really hoping that
Just change country with college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the Duke,
And
though,
change learning to be a girl with picking up an entirely new friend set.
I'm really hoping this isn't a romance, and I really hope it's not a romance, because it'd be heckin' creepy if it turns out to be a romance. Because the Duke's like 40 and she's like 19.
That's fine.
And be heckin'
It's
heckin'
creepy
weird.
for you because you were raised to believe that is creepy. He would not be creepy in that time frame because they were not raised to believe that.
I really hope it's not a romance of that sort. The Duke keeps insisting that it's not, so I want to believe him.
Sure, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Finish the book, let us know.
Yeah.
Says the historian who's like, well, social mores change all the time. Did you remember the start of the 20th century, childhood wasn't really a thing? And adolescence didn't exist at all? So, now we have childhood, pre-adolescence, adolescence, post-adolescence, and then adulthood. When, in like 1900s, it was you were a kid, then you're an adult. And that happened around 12 for all of us.
Does not compute.
Does not compute in your brain.
Does not compute. Anyway, it's a light-hearted, fluffy melodrama, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Excellent. I'm delighted. You mean it's not The Idiot by Dostoevsky?
No, it's not.
It's not capital L Russian literature?
They're putting so much detail in, like, what everybody's wearing, and, like, the decorations, and the dramas, and, like, there's all these fun little details. I have made it through
War and Peace, and La Motte d'Arthur. I can make it through this one. I will win against this capital L literature book. Not this week, but another week.
You've won this round?
The book won this round. Next. I am not going to miss, what is it? I will lose a battle to win the war. That's how that's going to work, people.
Sounds good. Anyway, books, they're fun.
She's done with us. She's rolled over.
I think she's snoring.
She does snore. My cat snores. A lot of cats snore.
She sounds like a man.
She does. And she sleeps beside me at the head of the bed. Like that. Like on her side, facing away from me, snoring.
Like this.
She's my
cat?
She's my +1.
This small cat is snoring like a man.
Yep.
Like a human man.
Yep.
It's impressive.
I know.
Wow.
We also have to have breakfast on her schedule. She doesn't particularly enjoy baths. There's a lot of parallels, guys.
Oh my.
A lot of parallels. I know she's going to have a bath later this week. She's not going to be impressed. Me and her aunt are looking forward to torturing her because it brings us great delight. I also drip dry. I pick her out of the sink and I hold her there for a bit. She just looks at me like, I hate you so much. And I go, here, I'll go to my sister. And then my sister towel dries her. Mm-hmm. Hates both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, she snores. It's even funnier when she's belly up and snoring. Dude, could you be more of a dude who tried?
Not a ladylike cat.
No, she's not.
Oh, this is greatly amusing. Alright, I think that's everything.
That's it, that's all.
That is all of the things.
Ooh,
I've just about finished my second row.
Beautiful. Those rows will get shorter as you go.
I know, it's so exciting.
So excited for you to wrap up an FO.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I'm not putting an entire blanket on my head.
It's fine, I'll put it on my head.
Okay. It's also not my thing, it's your thing.
It is my thing.
I'm also not mailing you things to put on your head when I finish them. You can just take some Instagram photos when you stop in every year at Christmas.
Okay. Just stack everything you finished that year on my head?
Yep.
I think at that point it'll just be me lying on the floor with like my feet sticking out from this pile of stuff.
Well, we could totally do that because I've got some blankets to finish this year that I'm actually going to keep.
Okay, that's what it's good. They're not all going to fit on my head.
No. I mean, I'm also not keeping a couple of blankets. So there's that. So, well, if that's everything, I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
I've had a lot of liquid today.
Hit the stop.